So when you see not connected, no connections are available on your desktop computer or a laptop computer which is wired to the router, we have to perform some basic troubleshooting steps before we dive deep into it. Alright, so the basic troubleshooting steps are like, when was the last time you were able to you were able to access internet, or you were able to use your computer without any problems? So did you perform any changes on the computer recently which is causing the problem now, or the computer has has installed some updates recently, or you any software was recently installed on your computer, or Windows updates were installed on your computer, or have you made any hardware changes or whatever? So we have to first think why this issue is happening all of a sudden. Why it was working yesterday and why it is not working today? Were there any changes made? So if you could think about it for a minute, and if you had made any changes, then that could easily help to fix the problem. Alright, so I just wanted to provide some information in the beginning regarding this. So the very first thing, when your desktop or a laptop which is wired to the modem or the router is throwing the error message, not connected, no connections are available, first make sure whether the LAN cable which is coming from your modem or the router is connected properly to your desktop computer or a laptop computer, whichever computer you're using. Make sure the cable is properly connected. If the cable is loose, then it will definitely say no, not connected, no connections are available. Try to unplug the cable from the Ethernet port. See, you see the Ethernet port here. You will see this Ethernet port on laptops and desktops. So just unplug the cable once and put it back in. At the same time, just make sure the other end of the cable is connected to a modem or a router is also inserted correctly. If it is inserted to the modem, just make sure it is plugged in correctly. If there is a loose connection, just take it off and put it back in correctly. And if the cable is connected to the router instead of a modem, alright, if the cable is connected to a Wi-Fi router instead of a modem, every router has LAN ports. Every router has LAN ports like this. See, these are LAN ports. Alright, these are LAN ports. So if one of the ports is faulty, then obviously you will not get connection on your computer because the port is faulty. So what you have to do is just try moving the Ethernet cable or the LAN cable. Take it off. Just take off the cable from the third LAN port and move it to the second LAN port. Alright. So in this way we can actually find out whether it is a problem with the LAN port or with the cable itself. Alright. So if it is a problem with the Ethernet, if it is a problem with the LAN port, then when you move the cable to the second LAN port, your desktop will go online because the LAN port is faulty. Alright, so you can perform this troubleshooting step to make sure the LAN port is maybe the LAN port is the culprit here. And you can also try one thing. If you have a different LAN cable or an Ethernet cable, see, the LAN cables look like this. I think you have one cable connected to your computer from modem or the router. Just try using a different LAN cable. If you have a different LAN cable at home, just try using a different LAN cable and see if it is working fine or not. Maybe it could be a problem with the LAN cable. So if you have an extra LAN cable, try to use it. But if you don't have a extra LAN cable, then what you can do is try swapping the cable once. Just if this part is connecting to the router, connect this to the computer, and if this part is connecting to the computer connected to the router. So just swap it and see if it works. Alright, and you can also do one thing. When you have the cable running from your modem or the router to your desktop computer, just unplug the cable from the desktop. Alright, so just unplug the cable from your desktop computer or a laptop computer, whatever it is. And if you have a different computer at home, you can just insert this cable to a different computer and see if it is working on a different computer or not. If you are able to access internet, or if you can go online, then it's not at all a problem with the LAN cable or the Wi-Fi router LAN ports. It's definitely to do with your computer. So we can perform these troubleshooting steps initially before we dive deep into it. Alright, so when you take off the cable from your desktop and put it inside the Ethernet port or the LAN port of your laptop, and if it is working fine, then there is something to do with the desktop computer. It could be a software issue or it could be a hardware issue. Alright, maybe the port itself is faulty, we don't know. So we have to perform some more troubleshooting steps here.